All right, it finally arrived. Surely this will be the thing that fills the void inside of me.
Could I interest you in some cheese?
You know, I don't consider myself to be an avid consumer. I mostly stick to buying things that I need, like a vacuum cleaner, a keyboard, this little Spirited Away lamp. You might be thinking I didn't need to buy this, but actually I did. Otherwise, I would have had to spend the rest of my life being hunted down by a small Japanese man named Kenzo. Long story. The point is, my personal consumption habits are pretty modest, but as I was browsing TikTok in preparation for this video, I found myself starting to fall under the consumerism spell. Like I was literally searching for content so I could rail against people buying unnecessary things, and then I ended up wanting to buy a bunch of unnecessary things.
Thin ice tray. Why would you need that? Oh, that's why you need that. Dust cover for the holes on your phone. Oh, those holes are dusty. Smart trash can. My trash can isn't smart. Food cover. Ooh, no bugs are getting into that food, that's for sure. Peephole cover. Sorry, peeping toms, time to find a new hobby. Microwave pasta cooker. Oh, you just heat it in the microwave? And you add some sauce? Spaghetti time. Air fryer plates. Ooh, I want those. I should probably get an air fryer too. Oh, this is gonna take my strawberry game to the next level. Anti-gravity humidifier? I mean, what am I gonna do? Not buy this?
So I do understand the urge to buy stuff you see on TikTok, and I get how people can be influenced by restock videos, which, if you're unfamiliar, are videos focusing on refilling containers, fridges, and cabinets with products. Grocery restocks are a common one, and obviously people do need to restock their foods and drinks. I'm not gonna criticize someone for that. Look at these consumerist sheep buying food for their families. But as you watch these TikToks, it starts to become clear that people are just looking for excuses to buy unnecessary stuff, like when people transfer things out of the original containers into their own reusable containers. So they'll pour cereal out of a cereal box and into a container, pour chips out of a bag and into a container, transfer cookies out of a bag and into a container, pour juice into a glass pitcher, pour bottled water into a glass jug. Let's ignore the wastefulness for a second here. This is just inconvenient. Like, it's hard to tell what some of the stuff is without the packaging. I can't tell what these cereals are. I mean, when you go to make a bowl of cereal, you don't want just any cereal. You're usually in the mood for a specific cereal, you know? You want like Captain Crispy Flakes or Cracklin' Snacklin' bunches of crack boys or whatever. How do you tell that without the boxes? And how do you tell one pink drink apart from another pink drink? Well, one solution is to buy another unnecessary product. Labels. Now you've solved the problem that you created. And hey, as long as you've got labels, why not put them on every container, even the ones where it's already abundantly clear what's inside them? See, the problem with the label method is that if you fill a container with something that's different from what it had last time, then you need to put a new label on. Or you could also just buy a unique container for every type of thing. Also, as a lot of TikTok commenters point out, when you transfer food out of the original containers, you lose the expiration dates, which is kind of important because some foods and drinks don't show their age as much as others do. Not everything is like fruits and vegetables where they start to develop their own ecosystems if they sit around for too long. I learned firsthand a few months ago that if you leave sweet potatoes out long enough, a jungle starts to grow on them. In addition to foods and drinks, some people also transfer cleaning supplies to generic containers, which if there are kids in the home is not only confusing, but also hazardous because this stuff could easily be mistaken for something edible. I mean, if I'm a kid, I'm not seeing dangerous chemicals here. I'm seeing a bunch of brightly colored pellets that look like cereal, creamy white liquid that looks like milk, and pink liquid that looks like the pink juice you just bought. Is this rage bait? Are they making these videos just to make me mad? Because mission frickin' accomplished. Also, something I noticed about these kitchen restocks is they always start with a completely empty fridge or empty pantry, which makes it seem like they wait to restock until there's literally no food left in the home. The kids are like, "Mommy, please buy more groceries." You know the rule in this house. We don't restock until all the food is gone. Does this look like an empty fridge to you? But I'm sick of ketchup. I've been eating it for 3 days. Some people like to indulge their shopping obsession under the guise of restocking for a guest room or bathroom.
Let's restock the guest bathroom.
Which, again, on the surface, doesn't seem like a bad thing. A guest bathroom should have some basic supplies at the very least. Extra toilet paper, a non-skid bath mat, a non-skibbity toilet. But it quickly becomes apparent that these guest room restocks are just a convenient excuse to buy a bunch of products for hypothetical guests who might come over someday. Oh boy! Instead of buying 1 bar of soap, I can buy 6 bars of soap, and 6 razors, and 16 toothbrushes, and 16 caps for the 16 toothbrushes. And since these guests are only staying for a short period of time, I can buy a whole bunch of mini versions of things. Instead of one normal sized bottle of moisturizer, I can buy 7 tiny bottles of moisturizer, and 12 tiny deodorants, and 20 of these things. What are they? Who fucking knows? But they're tiny, so I'm gonna buy them. Is that candy in the drawer? Sure, why not? Be our guest, be our guest. Here are 16 tubes of Crest. I really don't know what these things are. Are these microplastics? Is this what's floating around in our bloodstreams? Why does everything have to be tiny like it's a hamster's bathroom? A lot of these could just be a single bigger item. I don't think a guest is gonna complain about there being one big bottle of moisturizer instead of having their own personal tiny moisturizer. Every time these people see a small item for sale, they go like this.
We'll take 20.
But at least some of these items are like necessities. Other items are just overkill. Eye masks, a hangover recovery kit, stair-shaped bags, multiple types of moisturizers, anti-acne treatments, anti-aging serums, face washes. It looks like this person walked into a Target, picked up an entire shelf of skincare products, and then just walked out with it. Hey, when your home actually looks like the inside of a store, that's a sign that you've gone too far. What if you were out shopping one day and you were like, excuse me, where do you guys keep the sunscreen? This is my bathroom. I feel like if the camera turned around here, there would also be an employee standing in the bathroom. If I was a guest at one of these places, I would use every single one of the guest items. Every toothbrush, every tiny deodorant, every tiny bottle of Purell. I'd rub the Purell all over my body like Frank in Always Sunny. I'd use every skincare product. My skin would be so nourished, I would come out of the bathroom looking like a baby. I feel like some of this stuff shouldn't have to be provided. I'd expect a guest to bring some of their own supplies. Do these people have guests showing up to their door with absolutely nothing? You know, I realized too that it could seem like you're implying things about your guests by the items that you leave out for them. Like if I'm your guest and you leave me 10 deodorants, a hangover recovery kit, and a bunch of extra toilet paper, it's kind of like you're calling me a smelly alcoholic who poops too much. This would be the most passive-aggressive way to let someone know what you think about them. So I stocked your bathroom with extra toilet paper, plenty of deodorant, the phone number to Alcoholics Anonymous, a How to Be a Better Friend book written by me. I tell you what, dude, if I had a guest bathroom, you wouldn't see me doing half of this shit. I would supply one single roll of toilet paper. That's it. Not even. I would leave out 20 sheets of toilet paper and a card that says, "You're welcome." And if those 20 sheets of toilet paper don't get the job done, you can use the card to wipe. Have a nice stay. Now, if you want an excuse to buy a bunch of unnecessary stuff, but you don't want to do a restock, you can buy a bunch of accessories for your Stanley Cup. Because why let the consumerism end at buying multiple Stanley Cups when you could also buy each one its own wardrobe? I mean, dude, why does your cup need all this? This cup looks like it's being prepared to go on a quest. I expected this video to end with the cup going, "Well, off I go. Adventure awaits!" Hey, just because your cup has a human name doesn't mean it's actually a person. It doesn't need to be dressed up. Things don't always need more things on them, you know? You can just let some things be. I feel like for some people, when they buy a new thing, it's just a matter of time before that thing becomes a Katamari Damacy ball of random accessories. Like, I get it, you want your stuff to look cute, you're all about that cute life, right? But this doesn't even look good, and it's less practical than just keeping your stuff in a purse. In fact, this is basically an inside-out purse. And one of the most common Stanley accessories I see all over TikTok is also arguably the worst. And believe me, there's tough competition. I'm talking about this food platter attachment that goes on top of the cup. The idea behind this seems to be, why leave your snacks on a stable plate or leave them in the convenient containers they came in when you can snack them precariously on a top-heavy, lopsided platter that might topple over from a gust of wind? You know, there's a reason cups and plates have traditionally been separate objects, and it's not because nobody had the brilliant idea to combine them until now. People are trying so hard to make this a thing, but man, I just don't see it. Half the time, it's not even big enough to hold all their snacks. And when I first saw this, I assumed it was strictly for home use, like chilling out on the couch and snacking, because like, who carries a whole ass food platter around town with them? All right, let's see. I got my keys, got my wallet, got my phone. I think I'm ready to head out. Oh, almost forgot. My charcuterie board. I don't want to be out and about without an assortment of meats and cheeses. But in some TikToks, people do their whole Stanley accessory routine where they dress up their Stanley Cup like it's going into outer space, and then they stack a goddamn food platter on top of it. And at first I thought, surely that's just for show, right? But some people really are trying to eat out of this thing while they're on the go. Oh, and we might have one more design flaw to add to the list. Apparently, if you want to refill the Stanley Cup, you have to take the food platter off first to remove the lid. Folks, can we stop trying to make fetch happen with these food platters? Now, the thing is, most of the people making these TikToks aren't doing it just to give a glimpse into their real lives. They're doing it for one very specific reason.
Money, money, money.
They show off a bunch of products and then they direct you to their storefronts in their bios where you can buy all the stuff that they just showed you. And it's literally hundreds of products. I find it a little hard to believe that there are almost 200 items that are essential to a bathroom. Now look, I'm not gonna throw shade at someone just for trying to earn some money. Hey, get the bag, you know? or the 10 mini bags. But as a viewer, I think it's important to remember that these TikToks are basically ads. They're designed to make you feel like you need to keep buying more and more things so that your kitchen looks like their kitchen, and your bathroom looks like their bathroom, and your Stanley Cup looks like their Stanley Cup. I'm not saying people shouldn't buy any products they see on TikTok. I mean, it's your money. And as TikTok user Gloria says, I think the best thing about working and earning money yourself is being able to buy whatever you want with the money you earn. Yes, the appeal of money is that it allows you to get things you want. Thank you for that astute observation. But I think it's a good habit to take a beat before you buy something and ask yourself if it's really something you would use or if you're just falling under the consumerism spell. Otherwise, we end up with this never-ending cycle of overconsumption where we buy things we don't really need and just end up generating a bunch of waste. When it comes to waste, I agree with Barbosa's take on the issue.
Waste not.
Guys, if you want to see me talk about another crazy social trend, check out my coffee talk video. And also be sure to hit that subscribe button to join my clubhouse. I'm building a clubhouse for the coolest people on YouTube, and if you want to get in on the ground floor, all you gotta do is hit the subscribe button.